who goes by "This is a public service" on YouTube.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
Crank the music up.
Who goes by "This is a public service" on YouTube.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
Bring that shit in! Yeah, the movement's in motion with massive militant poetry. Now check this
Public
out.
service.
The right light study becomes insight with a system that this stuff teaches us to read and write. So-called facts of fraud. They want us to elect and pledge about down until they're gone. Lost the culture lost. Spun our minds here through time. Ignorance is taking over. Yo, we gotta take the power back. Bam! Here's the plan, motherfucker. Go Sam's, get back. I know who I am. Raised up the ear, drop the style like clear. It's the beats and the lyrics they fear. The rage is relentless. We need to move it with the quickness. You are the witness of change and the counteract. We gotta take the power back. Yeah, we gotta take the power back. Come on, come on. We gotta take the power back. The present curriculum, I put my fist in them. Eurocentric, every last one of them. See right through the red, white, and blue skies. Lecture a bunch of the structure of life. Dove in our minds and attempted to hold us back. We've got to take it back. Holes in the spirit causing tears and fears. One-sided stories for years and years and years. I'm inferior, who's inferior? Yeah, you need to check the interior of the system. Who cares about only one culture and that? So we gotta take the power back. We gotta take the power back. Come on, come on. We gotta take the power back. Hey, yo, check. We're gonna have to break it down. Oh, shit.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
Like this. Come on. Yeah. Put it back the other way. The teacher stands in front of the class, but the lesson plan he can't recall. The students' eyes don't perceive the lies mounting on every fucking wall. Closure is well kept. I guess he fears playing the fool. The place that students sit and listen to that bullshit that he learned in school. You're up, ain't my rope to swing on. Can't learn a thing from it, yeah we hang from it. Gotta get it, the weatherman. Like a motherfucking weatherman. Expose and close the doors on those who try to strangle and mangle the truth. Cause the circle of hatred continues unless we react. We gotta take the power back. Yeah, we gotta take the power back. Come on, come on. more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. Yeah.
This is a public service.
Take it back, y'all. Take it back. I take it back. I take it back, y'all. Come on. Take it back, y'all. Take it back. I take it back. I take it back, y'all. Come on. Yeah.
Welcome in, everyone. I want to start this live stream off by making a disclaimer. So here's the disclaimer. Do not reach out to the victim. Please do not reach out to the victim on my behalf. I am not asking anyone to reach out to the victim. Now, we've learned in the last few months that there's more than one victim in this case. There's Shannon Walker, the professional victim. And then there's Matt Walker, Tucson City prosecutor, incompetent, legal loser. Matt Walker is the other victim, named victim. Let's not forget, named victim by the Honorable Douglas Metcalf. So I'd like to make it clear, I don't want anybody to reach out to the victim.
The rights of free speech, so precious to this nation since its founding, are not limited to soft murmurings behind the doors of a person's home or private conversations with like-minded friends and family. These guarantees protect the right of every American to express their belief in public. The guarantees of free speech are not only for those who are deemed sufficiently enlightened, advanced, or progressive, or credible. They are for everyone. This freedom to differ is not limited to things that do not matter much. The test of its substance is the right to differ as to things that touch the heart of the existing order. Given this reality, the government must not be allowed to force persons to express a message contrary to their deepest convictions. If there is any fixed star in our constitutional constellation, it is that no official, high or petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion. In examining the text of Arizona's free speech clause, we must first observe that whereas the First Amendment is phrased as a constraint on government, our state's provision, by contrast, is a guarantee of the individual right to freely speak, write, and publish, subject only to constraint for the abuse of that right. Thus, by its terms, the Arizona Constitution provides even broader protections for free speech than the First Amendment. A violation of First Amendment principles necessarily implies a violation of the broader protections of Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 6. At the heart of the First Amendment lies the principle that each person should decide for himself or herself the ideas and beliefs deserving of expression, consideration, and adherence, and that any government action that requires the utterance of a particular message favored by government contravenes this essential right. Pure speech is protected under both the Arizona Constitution and the First Amendment. Pure speech includes written and spoken words, as well as other media such as paintings, music, and film that predominantly serve to express thoughts, emotions, or ideas. Pure speech also includes artwork. The First Amendment protects art for art's sake. Purely expressive activity, or pure speech, is entitled to full First Amendment protections. Whether a third party is able to discern any articulable message, especially from artwork, is simply irrelevant in terms of whether it is protected under the First Amendment. The essence of free speech protection is a person's autonomy over what to say and when to say it. Government regulation of speech must be measured in minimums and maximums, and in seeking to promote a valid government interest, it should avoid adopting a prophylactic rule of speech that is unduly burdensome and not narrowly tailored. Because First Amendment freedoms need breathing space to survive, broad prophylactic rules in the area of free expression are suspect. Precision of regulation must be the touchstone in an area so closely touching our most precious freedoms. The enduring strength of the First Amendment is that it allows people to speak their minds and express their beliefs without government interference. casting Mr. Myers' free speech and exercise right in a cynical light does grave harm to a society. As Justice Jackson observed in Barnett, struggles to coerce uniformity of sentiment in support of some end thought, essential to their time and country, have been waged by many good as well as by evil men. But inevitably, those bent on its accomplishment must resort to an ever-increasing severity. This court would be wise to heed his warnings about government efforts to compel uniformity of beliefs and ideas. As governmental pressure toward unity becomes greater, so strife becomes more bitter as to whose unity shall be. Ultimate futility of attempts to compel coherence is the lesson of every such effort, from the Roman drive to stamp out Christianity as a disturber of its pagan unity, the Inquisition as a means to religious and dynastic unity, the Siberian exiles as a means to Russian unity, down to the fast-failing efforts of our present totalitarian enemies. Those who begin coercive elimination of dissent soon find themselves exterminating dissenters. Compulsory unification of opinion achieves only the unanimity of the graveyard. With that being said, this court must modify or eliminate the disputed illegal conditions of probation because they violate Mr. Myers' constitutional rights both on their face and as applied. These conditions fail to provide due process because pursuant to State v. Elmore, Arizona Appeals 92, probation terms violate due process if a person of ordinary intelligence cannot understand what conduct is required or prohibited. Quite frankly, these conditions are so unconstitutional that even above average intelligence lawyers, judges, law professors, FBI agents, pro se idiots, prosecutors, probation officers, wannabe probation officers, and professional victims struggle to discern exactly what is required or prohibited by these conditions. This is epitomized by the fact that Mr. Myers is sitting here in shackles and an orange jumpsuit for allegedly violating these conditions, solely based on the male person's interpretation of the conditions. Actual probation.
What he is trying to say there, solely based on Matt Walker, corrupt prosecutor, unethical, corrupt prosecutor Matt Walker's interpretation. The corrupt prosecutor and peak legal loser Matt Walker is who we're talking about here.
Has one interpretation. Rachel Stiles has her interpretations. The victim has her interpretations. Defense counsel has his interpretation. This court has its interpretation. And most importantly, Mr. Myers has his interpretation. That interpretation is that these conditions require him to guess at its contours and can be applied arbitrarily and capriciously as they currently are. Mr. Myers is being held without bond with absolutely zero evidence he has violated these conditions as written. It's based strictly on multiple people's interpretation, all incorrectly and illegally. Make no mistake, these conditions at issue here today are blatantly unconstitutional, and any alleged violations, real or perceived, will be immediately dismissed upon appeal. Mr. Myers spent 11 months following these illegal conditions while researching the legality of these conditions. It's unequivocal that the conditions at issue today are not supported by any case law in Arizona or United States history, violate the Arizona and United States Constitution, and go far beyond any reasonable nexus related to protecting the victim or rehabilitating Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers will never stop criticizing government employees because he does not have to. Mr. Myers' pure speech and artwork are the absolute zenith of protected liberty interests. The Arizona Constitution does not say all persons other than Mr. Myers or all persons except those on probation may speak, write, and publish freely. This court must do everything in its power to protect Mr. Myers' liberty interests, even at the expense of the victims' government who are government employees feeling uncomfortable or ridiculed. Welcome to being an adult, currently employed by the government. Stop crying and get over it. Learn how to ignore things that make you uncomfortable. This court must restore order and turn this back into a court of law and not a court of feelings. There is no reasonable nexus to censoring Mr. Myers from talking about his own court case, from associating with law-abiding citizens, and not allowing him to even mention the name of two government employees. Privacy does not outweigh protected liberty interests. If the victim and her husband do not want to face scrutiny in their positions of employment as public servants, they must resign immediately. This is the year 2026, Orwell's 1984.
So, we got that. And then there was a another interview, and I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where Lane is getting his information, but they're going to talk about the upcoming. They're going to talk about the upcoming court hearing on the 11th, and I'm going to have to correct the record on it. And then I'm going to need some help from everybody. It's kind of a repeat of the same thing last year with the Supreme Court. We've only got a couple days. We only have a couple days to get a comment on the Supreme Court forum. I'll do a completely separate video on that. I'll probably do a couple, because because these people are just out of control. Yeah, this is definitely lawfare. There's no question about that. All right, this is sorry. The last interview was a call with Blue Line Transparency. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all these people giving up their anonymity to communicate with Mr. Myers. They are his only voice because he's being silenced by Pima County.
Also at court, I want to go over a couple things from the hearing because Metcalf's a fucking clown. He's the worst judge in the United States history. So first, at the hearing where the audio disappeared from the media hearing, during the media hearing, he said, I want to clarify a couple.
You know, the truth of that statement is pretty funny. They only give bail to criminals. You know, I don't know if you guys follow 857 Tucson, but since Lane's been incarcerated for a alleged violation of probation, no bond hold, they've since given an alleged murderer bond. They've since given a domestic abuser who is currently on probation, who beat the shit out of his wife's or his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. So the person that he was on probation for beating the shit out of, well, he didn't beat the shit out of them again. He beat the shit out of their husband. And they got bail. So, you know, make it make sense.
Things about the hearing on Tuesday. I want to make it clear that that hearing is only for legal arguments, not factual arguments. So, like, legal arguments means, like, case law and legal arguments. So I came to the hearing prepared to argue case law. So, even though it was a clown show and Metcalf fucking derailed my entire thing, took it, you know, he's interfered with my arguments the whole time. He forced me to make, you know, well, he didn't force me because I knew that's what I was there for, but I made legal arguments. I said, this case, that case, this law, this statute, this case law. And then when it was, because remember, he said we're only allowed to make legal arguments at this hearing. He said that before the hearing. Then the hearing starts, I make my legal arguments, he turns it over to Rachel. And Rachel doesn't make a single legal argument, she makes all facts-based arguments. And you know what Rachel said? Rachel said that Lane is like an alcoholic, which is the most
You're like a
offensive
cunt,
thing
Rachel.
Because I believe that alcohol is like a disease or something. I don't know. I'm not an alcoholic. But she goes, so this was her legal argument. This is her case law argument about my conditions. Oh, Lane's like an alcoholic. If he makes one video, he just can't stop, and he keeps making more videos and longer videos. And I'm like, what case law is that? Then she spent her entire time talking only about facts, poisoning the whole thing, saying, oh, well, instead of saying, well, this condition is valid because case law, state versus, you know, U.S. versus, or in this case they argued this, she just sat there and said, oh, yeah, well, she basically said only facts about, oh, he makes these videos, he's like an alcoholic, that's why we need these conditions, he's at the jail, he's making interviews on the phone, he just can't help himself because he's an alcoholic and he can't stop drinking. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about, woman? She literally called me an alcoholic. And then saying that the reason I can't hang out with shouldn't be allowed to hang out with Mark Kelly is because they were doing the exact same thing I was doing prior. She was saying that, now remember though, I was doing that stuff prior and I got charged. They didn't. So if we were doing the exact same thing at the exact same time and only I got charged, that's a red flag, Rachel. Of course I brought that up. I said, so if the reason that they can't be my friends is because I was committing crimes and Rachel's saying they were committing the same crimes, then why weren't they also charged? No response for that, of course. And then she says that, what else? She says that, I'm trying to think through everything because I got to be careful what I say here. Oh, she said that the reason I need these conditions is she said that her whole argument wasn't even, she did mention like protecting the victim from the same conduct that I was doing before, even though I wasn't asking to modify my conditions. Nothing in my motion to modify involved the victim. It only involved being able to talk about her husband in matters of legal matters and public shit, like where he put the petition on the thing, and I want to be able to talk about what he said in the petition and shit. Never did I argue that I should be able to contact the victim. I don't even want it. I quit contacting the victim years ago. I have that person, she's a non, whatever to me. She's a nobody to me. Like, I don't give a fuck about her ever, like, her, for all I care, I don't need to ever talk about her specifically, or show her information, or tell people to contact her, which is to protect the victim from, like, the crime. And then she's so stupid, she said that the Rule 33 the time for me to file Rule 33 is passed. No, it hasn't, Rachel, because I'm not claiming under A, I'm claiming under H. So since you're a genius prosecutor, you should probably know what the fuck you're talking about before you come to court and make yourself look like an absolute dumbass by admitting that you are accusing two other people of the same crimes as me, but they didn't get charged, so that's a crime.
Where the fuck are my charges? Seriously, where the fuck are my charges, Rachel? You fucking nasty cunt. Where are my charges? I looked up on the what is it? I can't remember if it's the, it doesn't matter. But I looked up to see if I had a warrant in Arizona to see if I was, on the run from my crimes. But no charges. No charges because why, Rachel? Rachel, why? Why have you not charged me? Is it because it's not a fucking crime, Rachel? You dirty, nasty, duplicitous cunt.
By you. And then saying that, well, all the conditions of probation are to rehabilitate Lane Myers. Well, that's funny. So, what? You want Lane Myers? Sounds like you want Lane Myers to stop It sounds like their end goal is to rehabilitate me from criticizing government employees. And protecting, she goes, oh yeah, and we got to protect him from doing the same thing to other people. You need to protect other government employees from being criticized? Rachel, you're revealing your true intentions every time you talk, because it's called, like, I think it's a Freudian slip they call it or something. But you're admitting that your goal is to stop me, because I only make videos about government or related to matters of public interest or public people that talk about me. I talk about them in return. But your goal of my probation, you claimed in court yesterday, was to rehabilitate me from these behaviors and stop me from continuing the same behaviors Rachel, I've been criticizing the government for 43 years. In fact, in Myers versus Rend, I criticized the government and got paid a lawsuit. I called the I told the lawyers to eat a dick faggot, and they sanctioned me, and they still paid me a lawsuit. I still criticize the government, and I'll never stop criticizing the government. Now, once I'm allowed to leave Pima County, I'll be leaving Pima County is the day I'm allowed to leave Pima County, of course. And so then I won't have to worry about getting arrested by the clown show at Laura Conover. Now, let's all remember that we need to be reminded that Laura Conover agreed to a plea bargain for somebody who, there was a nurse at the hospital, and a woman came to the hospital having a seizure, comatose. The nurse took her shirt off, played with her titties, and sucked her titties. And Laura Conover agreed to a plea bargain for 30 days in jail. I've spent 6 months,
And not only that, lying-ass Laura Conover says that happens every night in America, every bar, granted. And we must make the distinction that this happened in a hospital, in a scenario where all of the trust is put in the caregiver. What is it? What's the Hippocratic Oath? First, do no harm. All right, so we've got this nurse exposing people, touching their titties, and we've got lying Laura Conover saying, oh, that's okay. Look it up. Look it up, Chris. Look it up, pal.
I'm getting close to 6 months in jail for these bogus ass, he cried, or he called the government and they cried, crimes. And then she has the nerve to say, oh yeah, women, that happens to women every night. Well, what doesn't happen every day in every bar in America is what's happening to Lane Myers. So Laura, I don't know how you fucking sleep at night without sleeping meds. We know you're on psych meds, Laura. It's obviously every time you talk and look at the camera, you're on psych meds. It's beyond obvious. I actually don't think Rachel's on psych meds. I think she's just psycho, which is different. But Laura Conover is definitely heavily medicated, and wine. She drinks a lot of wine. I truly don't believe that Rachel. I believe Rachel is more of like a good. I don't know how. I'm not trying to I don't know what I'm even trying to. I'm trying to say that I don't think Rachel is out there getting drunk every night.
Go publish it on your page, pal.
Drinks herself to sleep, or medicates herself all day, every day. Because Rachel actually, her mind is moving 20 times faster than Laura Conover. When Laura Conover talks, it looks like she just woke up from the movie Encino Man, from being caveman, frozen and restored. She's moving so slow. She's got to be in her eyes and all that. Rachel has some activity up top. Her light bulb isn't the brightest, but it's moving and it's working. Whereas Laura Conover is an absolute medicated fool. You can tell. She drinks herself to sleep. She's gained 50 pounds since she got in office. Don't you ever work out, Laura? Your health is wealth. But so now here's the issue. Rachel's the problem. So Rachel needs, they complain about the other people getting. Well, Rachel's email is rachel.styles I got to read it. Rachel.styles. That's Styles with S-T. It's RACHEL.STILES at PCAO.pima.gov. The phone number is 724.
Now, make no mistake, you can definitely reach out to Rachel Stiles. I am encouraging everybody to reach out to Rachel Stiles and peacefully seek redress to any and all of your grievances.
5600. Her bar number is 24783, and that is the issue we have now. Is Rachel is manipulating the court system against me. She's pulling the strings. She's using the full power of the state to silence me, and she's admitted that the end goal of my probation is to stop me from criticizing the government. Well, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to stop criticizing the government. And so I don't know where this goes, but I know I'm not going to stop criticizing the government unless they get rid of the First Amendment, which I don't know if they're going to get rid of the First Amendment. So I don't think, unless there's a change in law, I won't be stopping to criticize the government. In fact, this case is giving me probation officers to criticize, prosecutors to criticize, judges to criticize. other people involved in the case to criticize. So I really don't see me stopping criticizing the government anytime soon. And the issue is that I've criticized the government for 43 years, and I've never had a government employee call themselves a victim of harassment until now. So I guess it's some kind of special thing that happens under Laura Conover, because she calls it something else. Like, she doesn't call it justice, restorative justice. What, we got to go in? No. I thought we were going to go in. And so that is what the update is as of today. But again, it's early. What time is it? Let's see. It's 1:30. There's still plenty of time to add new charges. Still plenty of days left. So we'll see. I'm sure that why would they stop now? Because they're evil. And if you think Rachel is doing a good job or a bad job, that's her email. And you can let Rachel Stiles know your public officials' performance and their official duties. You can let her know how you feel she's doing a good job. And I'm sure there's people that are like, hell yeah, Rachel, get him. He's an idiot. And I'm sure there are people that are like, no, Rachel, that's not right. Well, and the judge's phone number is listed on the website also. It's Judge Metcalf. You can go to the Pima County Superior website, and you can let him know that tyranny, he was not appointed to do whatever the state says. He was appointed to separate the executive and the judicial branch, but he doesn't seem to understand that. And so another thing I want to say is that the hearing was broadcast live, but they didn't tell anybody until after the hearing started, so nobody would have known that the hearing was being broadcast live and get the link for it prior to the hearing, because he didn't release that information until after the hearing started. So it's like, yeah, we broadcast it live, so leave me alone. I broadcast it live. Look at me. I believe in... But nobody had a way to get the link except a few people on the prosecutors, who I'm talking. Somehow those people had the link, but no public or press. But the next hearing will be broadcast live, and you'll have to get the link ahead of time now that he issued a court order saying that they will be live streamed due to the issue with the... So last time the hearing was supposed to be recorded and people could buy it, he messed that up. He did make it right. He's paying for a transcript, so I'll have that transcript for appeal. But as far as nobody will be able to buy the recording, from now on it's live only. Either you listen to it live or you have to buy the transcript. So moving forward, make sure you get your request in ahead of time so that you can be on the link for the live. And therefore, when the hearing starts, you'll be live. But make sure that you understand that later on, it's being live, and if you want to record it, you can, but the court is not going to provide a recording of it. So you either catch it live, or you don't get to hear it, or you catch it later on somebody else's recording that they post later on. So that's the update for today, and thank you.
All right, so we've got more of an update, which is I'm gonna make sure that I'm not dumb here. All right, so that is not true. It's not going to be streamed live. If somebody actually told him that in the hearing, that was also a lie. I requested the link prior, and other people requested the link prior, and they were denied the link. So this is what the Gina Swecker is Judge Metcalf's judicial assistant, and looks like Joey Payne was inquiring, I don't know, something about, here, let me see if I've got that email as well. Hold on for a second. Okay. How do I gotta do this? Alright, here's how we'll do it. So all of that to say that there's not going to be, the hearing is not going to be live streamed. They're playing these games, and they've got no intention of making these hearings public. And don't worry, you know, Judge Metcalf sits on the Supreme Court task force where he tells everybody how much he respects the rules and how he's this transparent and upfront guy. But he's just a liar. That's all that he is. Alright, that's it. Okay, so you guys can see that now, right? Here, let me see if I can make that a little smaller. All right. So this was the first email. And then this was the response. The only people that appear on the teams were, other than the victim, were the court staff, Judge Metcalf, law clerk, representative from the court-appointed counsel, and myself. So there you have it. They have no intention of making this public. I'm going to request. I'm going to make the request again to be at the hearing on the 11th. But these people, they don't care what the law is. They don't care what the court rules are. They're just going to do whatever they want. Judge Metcalf has already issued an order that he is not going to follow the court rules. So, I mean, what do we do there? We've got judges refusing to follow the court rules. We have somebody sitting in jail for, I mean, it's so ridiculous. And we've got all these people that have such productive lives that they spend their time trying to get an innocent man thrown in prison. Chris, are you still in here? Chris, what was what did Lane do? Did he actually do a crime? Now I know that he pled to a crime, but I want to know what the specific action was that he took. What did he do? And why wasn't Mark Kelly, reluctant prophet, charged? He's in the same city doing the same stuff. Rachel admits he's in the same city doing the same stuff. He's not charged. Well, what is it? That must be the equal application of the law that, you know, that we that gives us so much faith in the criminal justice system, right? The thing is that Rachel is she's evil, right? There's a level of malevolence here that is on another level. Guess what? So, I've got there's the Give Send Go. If you guys can help Lane out, I'd really appreciate it. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this off. I don't know if I'll go live. Yeah, in this case. Yeah, what did he do? the specific action. What did he do? Because he never told people to reach out to the victim. He certainly never told people to harass the victim. I've gone much closer to telling people to reach out to the victim than Lane ever did. But I was never charged. Lane was charged for the things that I did, but I was never charged. I don't know. I mean, it seems like they could have. I saw that. Unless you sent me another one, Jason. I saw the one that you sent me, and let me just say, that's very interesting. Did that actually give? Does that retain copies of all those things, or is it just like a register of that? All right, so I don't know where I was before I got distracted. But yeah, so we're gonna have to do another video for the Supreme Court. Sure. Hold on for a sec. All right, we'll have to do a separate video for the Supreme Court, the rules task force that's going on. We only have a couple of days before we can get more. Let me see if I can bring it up without doxing. It's not even doxing, without showing the people's emails. Oh, I can do that. All right, there it is. Okay, so this is what our next video is going to have to be about, and we're going to need action from all the shareholders on this. We need comments in this. So this is a rule being put forth by one of the judges on the Supreme Court, I believe. But this is all stemming. So this is R26. It's the third suggested rule change of 2026. And they try to. There's some Gmails on here. Let me just. Let me just hide this for a second so I can scroll to it. Okay. All right, so this was filed on the 7th this year. And again, this is last year Matt tried his legal loser bullshit. You guys remember that, right? And they didn't rule on it last year. They put it they basically said, "Okay, Matt, we see what you're doing here. We can't manipulate the rules for you because you're being too upfront. You're being too in our face. You're saying it's all because of this one guy." So they said, "Okay, we're going to hold this over until this year, and then this year, the actual the chair of the rules task force, he says, okay, let's go ahead and change these rules." They want to amend the rules of 122 and 122.1. So we're gonna have to have a marathon live over this where we go over all of the people that want to change the current rule. But really, what we need is we need comments, we need replies. Last year we had 35 replies to this, and the vast majority of them came in that last week because, again, Lane was in jail last year when this was going on. So, guys, we really need to rally the troops here. We can't let him down on this. We have to get the shareholders out in front of this. So we're going to do a specific video specifically about how to make a comment to the rule, to the Supreme Court, to whatever this is. And so any shareholders that already did this, that are already kind of tapped in on what's going on, there's the link to this year's suggested rules change. We need comments in there, and looking at, we'll go through them again, not in this video, but again, looking at last year's comments, I couldn't have been more impressed with the level of commentary and the I just appreciate everybody that took the time to do that last year, because I really think that it actually made a difference. And yeah, we can't close our eyes on this one. Let me see if I can do one more thing before I take off here. Where is it? Alright, close that. No. Let's do motherfucker. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Okay, so last thing is this. There is a rules task force meeting on Monday. This is open to the public. These are very, 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 very mind-numbingly long meetings. But there's the link to the page that I'm looking at right now. There is a public comment period. They do not tell you when it is, so they might make you sit through the entire meeting to do that. So there's a link to the Zoom. I will record. I don't think the comment portion for the commenters is actually videotaped on our side, but it shows up in the Zoom. So yeah, I plan on recording the hearing and posting it to the channel. Maybe I'll just go live that whole day and stream it live. But we need some commentary during this meeting too, because everybody's lying. We've got everybody lying to the Supreme Court, And I guess that's okay with the Supreme Court. They can be lied to. I don't know. All right, help our boy out, guys. All the information's in the description. There's a link there if you want to if you could please put some money on his tablet so he can communicate with the outside world. There's the Give, Send, Go. If you guys have it, if you have the means or the ability to help Lane out, I'd appreciate it. That's it for me, I believe.
Who goes by this is a public service on YouTube.
This is a public service.
This is a public service.
We're out here today to ensure our natural rights are respected by those who swore an oath to support, protect, and defend the rights of the people. The purpose of all interactions is to peacefully promote government accountability and transparency. Please like, share, and subscribe so this message can reach as many people as possible. I implore you to peacefully seek redress to any and all of your grievances. This is a public service.